Captain's Log, Stardate 87486.9. Captain Bluebird Ninja, temporary assignment USS Diadem. A few days ago, a vessel passing through the Maxia sector detected the beginning of a star's death, which is generally unremarkable. Except that this time, prior scans done on that star indicate that this event is happening about a few million years early, with no explanation. As such, Starfleet Command has dispatched the advanced research vessel USS Diadem to investigate. Diadem was recently constructed and just completed her shakedown cruise, and was awaiting the arrival of her new crew. But Starfleet Command wanted this star surveyed by a research vessel as soon as possible, and the Diadem senior staff wasn't going to arrive for another month. My own crew and I have been on extended shore leave for the past 28 days owing to our participation in the Iconian War. Starfleet did actually give us 2 months, but if I have to spend one more day on a tropical beach surrounded by scantily clad Rysian natives, I think I'd just about go mad from the inactivity. Well, I suppose inactivity is the point of shore leave, but God, 2 months. As you can see, my volunteering for this mission was a desperate act of self-preservation. But I will say, a non-combat mission on a research vessel is quite a change from what we're used to, in a good way. We are on course for the starbase Deep Space Nine to rendezvous with a Cardassian specialist, and from there, it's off to our dying star. Computer, end log. Right, we have arrived at Deep Space Nine. Helm, take us into transporter range. We're here to pick up a Dr. Tenora Zuval, I believe. Let's not keep her waiting. Bridge to transporter room 1. Energize.
Thank you for the pickup. I'm Tenora Zuval. Let's get started. My preliminary observations show some kind of unknown stellar problem. This unexplored system near Firenginar is undergoing solar death. Basically, it's as if the star is going out suddenly, but there's no good reason why. We need to get close enough to take some readings and see what we can figure out.
Well, certainly to the point. Greetings, Tenora Zuval. I'm Captain Bluebird Ninja of the Federation starship Diadem. And understood, Ensign Jerez. Let's depart from Deep Space Nine, set course for the Maxia sector. Warp 7 should do it, I think. Engage. Tyrell reports that we have arrived in system, about 0.5 AU from the star. Tyrell says that there's still no indication of what's causing the stellar decay, and she says she's detecting only gas giants in the system, no signs of rocky planets other than the occasional moon. She says we're a little outside the optimal range, and we would probably get better resolution on sensors if we close the distance between us and the star by a few kilometers. Understood, Commander. Jerez, take us in, and let's get some readings of the star and see if we can figure this out. 1/4 impulse. Tyrell, execute a scan.
Getting swamped with solar radiation. Try reducing the gain on your sensors.
Ops. Thank you, Zarva.
Initial results don't make any sense. The star's core reactions are failing, but it still has so much mass that it should be conducting fusion. It's as if it suddenly decided that it was no longer going to do hydrogen fusion, just heavier fusion processes.
The star having a midlife crisis. Helmet, let's collect some more stellar particles and see if we can find any clues with more detailed analysis.
This kind of matter is ejected during corona events. We should be able to collect some with your ship's ram scopes if we head to one of the ejection zones.
Understood. Tyrell, plot me some locations where we can take samples. Commander Zarva, make the necessary preparations to the Basad collectors. Thank you, Tyrell. Helm, set a course for the nearest one. Full stop. Right, Commander Zarva, prepare to take in some of those particles. Jerez, take us in.
Results are coming in now. This still isn't making any sense. It's as if the star's life cycle was suddenly accelerated somehow, but it never went through an expansion cycle. There's no good explanation for this yet. Maybe something else in the system caused it.
Something else? What the devil? What if, perhaps, the phenomenon that's causing the star's accelerated decay is affecting the other bodies in the system?
If this is system-wide, we should find evidence of similar problems, with nuclear and chemical reactions in the system's gaseous bodies. There's a large amount of gaseous stellar matter further from the star. We should have no trouble checking that hypothesis.
Indeed. Ensign Jerez, set a course for the closest body in system. Full impulse. Engage.
This is very strange. Usually nebulae are massive clouds between star systems. Finding a micronebula in system like this is quite rare. This may be the result of an event such as a cosmic string, shearing through a gas giant and turning it back into particulate matter. I'll need some more readings to know for certain.
Quite fascinating. However, troublingly, this nebula also seems to be affecting our shields. But that doesn't affect our mission. Let's determine the best places to scan for useful information.
All the particulate matter will make your ship's sensors unreliable beyond a few kilometers, and shields will be offline. The best we'll be able to do is to check small areas until we get close to something unusual. We should head to where the deionized particle density is highest.
Reduce sensors. Well, that makes our life a bit more difficult. Ops, let's switch to short-range scanners. Give me a direction to fly in. Directly ahead. Perfect. Helm, 1/4 impulse. Right, give me another scan. Still dead ahead. We're still on course. Full stop. We're detecting the particles. Ops, let's get a sample. Tyrell reports that she's reading deionized particles, icy fragments, trace amounts of inert materials. She says she's picking up some low-level distortion, possibly from an impulse drive. Understood. Keep searching. If there's another ship here, they may have useful information. Well, that's the first location done. If there is another ship here, let's hope they're not hostile, considering we have no shield. Our only defense is our ablative armor, and not an advanced research vessel. They don't really pay attention to such things. Zarva, give me another scan. Oh, a few points to port. Helm, you got that? 1/4 impulse. No, we've got another anomalous particle cluster. Full stop. Lieutenant Nessies, get me a sample. Tyrell reports that readings indicate agitated particles and trace heat, residual trail for an impulse engine. She says she's reading an energy surge, possibly something headed this way. We're detecting Tholians on sensors. Oh, for God's sake! They're firing. Hard to starboard. Evasive maneuvers. Coles, return fire. They're mesh weavers, even without shields. It should be nothing to worry about. Bloody Tholians. Fire. They're not surrendering. Oh, they've created a mesh. Helm, get us around the mesh. Get me a spread of photon torpedoes. Fire! Hard to port. Aft torpedoes. Let's finish them off. Bloody hell. Ugh, the last torpedo for good measure. Right, that's the mesh weaver down.
Data is coming in now. Nothing unusual coming in from the nebula, but those Tholian ships were quite far from home. Unfortunately, they can't give us answers. Looks like there's some heavy ionization on the far side of the nebula, though. As if it's receiving some kind of reflected radiation from one of the gas giants.
Fascinating. Helm, I think we're done in the nebula. Set a course with that gas giant. Full impulse. Tevrel reports that there's a large asteroid ring around this gas giant. She says we're reading a few metallic asteroids and some low-level radiation. Perhaps some additional clues, but nothing concrete. She says there's a lot of small debris moving at high speed here, nothing we can't clear with our weapons. But we'll need to make sure not to miss. Understood, Commander. Understood, Commander. Helm, stand by for rapid maneuvers. This ship is basically fresh off the production line. I don't want to destroy her on her first mission. Set a course for the largest radioactive asteroid. Let's get some information. Right, Helm, bring us up to full impulse. Watch out for those debris. Right, we've reached the first asteroid. Tevrel, conduct a scan. Tevrel reports that the asteroid is mostly silicates, with a few small deposits of iron and magnesium. Nothing particularly special. Understood. Helm, let's move on to our next target. Hard to starboard. We can see the debris there. Doesn't look like there's any on a direct course for us. This should be easy enough. Helm, stand by. Full stop. Tevrel. She reports that the asteroid has zinc, copper, cobalt, and traces of tungsten and mercury. Slightly uncommon, but doesn't give us any clues. Understood. We got a few more asteroids on sensors. Let's see if we can find something out from them. Full impulse. Tevrel. She reports large amounts of nickel, some titanium, uranium, silicon in large amounts. And she says something interesting. She says the asteroid has been excavated. Along one side, she said it looks like someone has used a primitive mechanical probe to crack part of the asteroid and remove some of it. She says she's detecting a low-grade warp signature, nothing sophisticated. She says someone's been here, but probably not with the kind of technology that could explain the stellar problems. It doesn't look like there's anything relevant to our situation here. Let's get closer to that gas giant and its moon, see if we can find any other clues. Alright, Helm, we're done in the asteroid field. Full impulse towards that moon. Tevrel says, plotting an optimal location for scanning the gas giant and its moons should be on display now. It is, thank you, Commander. Lieutenant Nessies, engage the scanning beams. Tevrel says, fascinating. She says she's picking up several moons around the gas giant, and some of them are habitable. She says she's picking up comm traffic. One of the moons is inhabited. Comm traffic? Why didn't we pick that up earlier? Tevrel says that there are thousands of background signals in space. She says many from civilizations we haven't encountered yet. She says since a preliminary long-range scan of the system showed no Class M or L planets, it seems that nobody thought that it would be inhabited. She says our computers just classified these signals as ambient background until we were right on top of the transmitters. She says the Universal Translator is updating now. Understood. Tevrel, any signs of starships or bases? You did say you detected a warp signature. Was it from this civilization? Are they warp capable? Tevrel says a few minor orbital facilities, significant industrial infrastructure, 8 billion inhabitants. She says she's picking up a few low-power warp trails. Indeed. Tyrell says that nothing the size of a starship, perhaps a handful of probes. She says there's evidence that we've come across an early warp-capable civilization. Warp-capable, indeed. Let's conduct a few more scans. If this civilization is warp-capable, then we may make first contact.
Greetings, unknown vessel. This is Administrator Kumarke. Please provide identification.
Oh, God, we've been hailed. Tyrell, open a channel. Greetings, Administrator. I am Captain Bloober Ninja of the USS Diadem. I represent the United Federation of Planets. We come in peace.
Welcome to Lucari. Visitors here are rare, but we're always gratified by the chance to meet and exchange information with travelers. I regret that you have arrived at a difficult time. You may have noticed that our home star has become unstable. I'm leading a project to try to reignite the star. Unfortunately, we've already suffered severe disruptions, and we have a lot of problems to tackle right now.
You've had visitors from other species?
Yes, we've previously had contact with the Zenkethi and the Ferengi.
Oh.
We've heard a bit about the Deferi and the Breen, but they haven't ever been to our system. Our home world provides for all of our raw material needs, along with a few mining outposts around the asteroids and the gas giant. We've never had a compelling need to engage in space exploration. And now that our sun is going out, we're scrambling everything we've got to see if we can find a solution or a way to evacuate at least a few of our people.
I understand. We did indeed notice the problems with your star. In fact, we're here to investigate it.
These problems started only recently, just a few days ago. Our astronomers noted a significant shift in the star's output, and now it looks like it's guttering and dying. If we can't solve this problem, it's the end of our species. I'm the project leader for our solar probe team. We're going to try to restart fusion with a quantum chromodynamic accretion burst, but honestly, this is a colossal problem, and it may be beyond us.
Quantum chromodynamic accretion burst? Well, it could work, I suppose. I'm not a science officer, but it sounds like a long shot to me. Administrator, my vessel is a part of a larger fleet. We have advanced technology, and we may be able to assist you.
We have a solar probe ready that contains the booster module that needs to be fired into the star. It's capable of warp 2. There's a problem, though. The probe's remote navigation systems don't work. All of the interference from the solar flaring and guttering is blocking the signal. Could your ship get a trajectory plot so that we could set a pre-programmed course?
We'll look into it. We can use our astrometric computer to build a plot. We'll see what we can do. Bloody hell, first contact. Although we're not the first species they've met, so not the most exciting first contact. But this is still my first contact. Tyrell, get the current trajectory plot on screen. Elevation of the first point is bad. It needs to be moved upwards, and the second one is off. Needs to be adjusted to the left. Understood, Commander. Alright, ops, hold it there. Let's get to the second one. Right, that's perfect. Let's send the adjustments back to the Lucari. Elevation on the first point is good. Angle on the second is perfect.
We're getting your telemetry now. I'll have my engineers prepare the probe. Let's see if this works. Nothing to worry about, just the future of my planet.
Well, we will hold position for the launch of the probe. Our sensors are somewhat more sophisticated than yours. We'll send you any data we find.
The probe's made it out of orbit.
Right, we've got the solar probe on sensors.
Engaging secondary boosters to head out of planetary range.
It's increasing speed, now traveling at full impulse. Once it reaches trajectory point 2, it should go to warp. Tyrell says the probe's engines are hitting full burn.
It's gone to warp.
Tyrell says we're tracking telemetry from the probe, its guidance systems and sensors are functioning.
The probe is arriving at the solar corona. Deploying chromodynamic booster. No effect. It didn't work. Repeat. It didn't work. That was our one shot. Thank you for trying to help. I'm not sure what to try next. Maybe we can evacuate a few people. I'm not going to give up. But the situation is grim. If your people can offer any other help, we would welcome it. But I just don't see a way to relocate 8 billion people in the next few hours.
Well, Administrator, we're not necessarily out of solutions. We may still be able to find a way to reignite the star, and even if we can't, like I said, we are part of a larger fleet. We'll send as many vessels as we can spare to evacuate your people if that becomes necessary. But 8 billion is a long shot. There's no chance in hell we'd be able to evacuate that many people in time. Flora says that there's an unknown vessel entering the system. Small, but she can't get a reading through its hull. Terrell says it's fascinating. Terrell says that we can't read the interior at all. What the devil? Carles, bring us a yellow alert. Let's hail our new arrival.
My name is Caldano. Looks like I've arrived at the perfect time.
Oh!
I'm here to help with the problem with this star. I'm a scientist, and I have some specialized knowledge that can help.
I am Captain Bloober Ninja of the Federation Starship Diadem. It's, nice to meet you, Cal. Dano, your help will be appreciated. Sounds like you have something in mind.
With apologies for the interruption, this is my home star. My people are the ones at risk here. If you have some way to reverse this process, my people should be involved.
Agreed, Administrator. However, since no other solutions have presented themselves as of yet, I think that if he has a plan, we should hear him out.
All right, I'm willing to do so, but it will take me a little while to get a shuttle out there. As you might imagine, things are a little hectic over here right now.
Don't worry, Administrator. I can imagine that it is quite difficult to get a shuttle, but rest assured you're not going to need one.
You won't be able to get a lock on my ship interior due to the subspace manifolds. I'll go ahead and bring you aboard.
Subspace what? Anyway, I've heard of Caldano before. He's from our future, and as I've come to realize, no one from the future ever says anything. So I'm not going to bother asking about them. Understood, Mr. Dano. We are ready for transport. I'll prepare an away team.
Welcome aboard. I'm Caldano.
You moved me here without crossing the intervening space. You have quantum teleportation technology.
Yes, we call it a transporter. It has a limited range, but it's useful for going from surface to ship.
Impossible! This ship's interior is massive, even though it's no bigger than a shuttle.
My ship uses compactified subspace folds. It's bigger on the inside.
Oh, is that what those are? Right now, however, I think we have bigger issues to handle.
This is all quite overwhelming. This Caldano person is another stranger from somewhere else, and you're here to help with our dying star?
Well, not somewhere else, more like somewhen. But I'll try. I don't think I should get into that. Yes, we came here to investigate the star, and now we're involved.
Oh. Yes, I suppose I can see how a star suddenly dying might attract someone's attention.
Indeed. Normally, my people are explorers, and we would open diplomatic relations to engage in first contact. But us meeting is somewhat rushed, considering this isn't a normal situation.
It's an odd coincidence. We'd probably never have met if it weren't for the trouble with the star. My people have never really had any desire to go exploring out there. We've sent a few probes and met a couple of neighbors, but we're happy at home, and we have what we need, so why risk it? I guess this crisis answers that question. The galaxy is bigger than us, and to survive, we need to look past just our homeworld.
Fascinating. The United Federation of Planets makes exploration and peaceful contact with new species one of its primary missions.
It sounds like you have a lot of experience in meeting other kinds of people. Maybe if we survive this, we can take the chance and learn more about each other. to talk about what we might have in common and what we have to offer.
Well, my people will certainly want to open relations. It's kind of what we do. Your experience here will make you a natural choice to participate in these discussions, if your government consents, of course. But you seem like the perfect fit.
What can I do to help? My home is at risk. I want to do something, to be involved in solving this problem.
Well, you can remain with us and assist us with all this. You, of course, have more experience with this particular star than we do. That experience will be invaluable. Right, we have kept Caldana waiting for quite a while. I'm sure he doesn't mind.
Welcome to my ship. Don't be alarmed. This vessel is from the 31st century, and it has some technology you may not recognize yet. I can assure you, though, that I'm here to help.
Technology that I'm unfamiliar with, that's damn sure. Compactified subspace folds, or whatever you call them. Making a ship larger on the inside. Good God. That technology also explains why we weren't able to scan through your ship's hull. Or how you apparently have technology that can repair this dying star.
Correct. I'm associated with the temporal division of... well, let's just say that I'm an ally from the future. And I'm here to save the Lucari star.
Well, considering your presence here, I take it this involves changing the time stream. And I must say, recently, I've had just about enough of that.
No, I'm trying to prevent changes. Someone's tampered with this star. It's not supposed to die out here. The Lucari don't disappear today, at least not if we have any say in it. I have some technology that can help, but we'll need to rework it in order to repair the star's fusion processes. What I need you to do is help me align this matrix to match the star's original spectrum.
Understood, Cal. I'll get on the matrix.
I'll regulate the device's main power state from this console.
Right, he indicated this console over here. Tyrell, you're with me. You'll probably be invaluable in this. Like I am, of course, a tactical officer rather than a scientist. Let's see how I do. Right, adjusting the blue spectrum. Current wavelength 575. Blue wavelength range is 450 to 495. Right, decreasing wavelength. Simple enough. Right, hold it there. Locking in wavelength. Tyrell says that while scanning, she got some data on Caldano. Well, I'm glad he didn't notice. As a person from the future, I'm sure he'd have objections to that. She says he seems to be a hybrid of human and Vulcan. What the... Although he doesn't look like either. But that's probably explained by the fact that he has a small amount of DNA from the people of this world, the Lucari. She says apparently, at some future date, these people have a stronger tie with the rest of the galaxy, enough so that they have descendants with DNA from humans and Vulcans. That's fascinating. Well, I suppose this means that he's more trustworthy, considering that his own life is at stake. Let's finish repairing the star. That's fascinating. Good work, Tyrell. Right, let's get on the red wavelength. Current wavelength is 840. Red wavelength range is 620 and 750. Right, decreasing. Right, hold it there, locking in.
Sounds like whoever tried to destabilize the Lucari stars decided to come knocking. Let's see who... They're packing a real wallop! Shields just went down. We have incoming!
A real wallop indeed, bloody hell! Right, phasers ready! Coles, once again, I'm glad you insisted on bringing a rifle. Bloody hell. Right, let's prepare to repel boarders. Weapons ready.
What are those things?
Tholians! Fire!
Tholians! Keep them away! I need to finish these computations!
Understood, Cal? Understood, Cal. Let's take cover where we can. We're surrounded. Right, that's one down. Fire! Right, Lieutenant Nessie's erected a shield. That should help us a bit. It's a plasma grenade.
I have the device shielded in a force field, but I can't deploy it until these Tholians are out of the way.
Shields are back up! They shouldn't be able to get any more boarding parties over.
Understood. Bloody hell. Bloody Tholians. Why the hell would they try to destabilize the star? What the hell could... Why the hell would they care? Right, the room's clear.
We've got a breather. Now I just have to charge the device and prepare it for use. In just a few minutes, it'll propagate a quantum wave shift that should correct the star's stalled fusion process. You should head back to your ship, and I'll send the administrator back home.
I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what any of that meant, but that's probably for the best. Understood, I'll get back to the Diadem. Bloody Tholians. Hopefully that's the last of them.
The device is charging. We should be just a few minutes away from repairing the star now.
Standing by.
Give us the talks, mutant.
Oh, for God's sake, Tholians! Colas, target that vessel and fire a spread of torpedoes!
Wonderful. Now the Tholians want my quantum phase inhibitor.
Quantum phase inhibitor? They said toxic... That's what the toxutat is? Bloody hell. God, we have some experience with it. We had to stop the Vorgons from chasing after it, and now... Bloody hell, the toxutat.
You will surrender. The talks you have or you will be destroyed.
Obviously, we can't let them have it. We just need a little more time and we can rejuvenate the star.
Oh, bloody hell, a web! Evasive maneuvers! Bloody hell, we missed! Colas, target the nearest web. Oh, alright, Caldana managed to shoot it out. Colas, target that orb weaver, open fire! Flores reports that Caldana's ship is putting out some extraordinary power levels. Understood, although that is to be expected. It is from the future, after all. Flores says that his future tech has packed the weapons of a battleship into a shuttle. Good God, that explains how easily he's dealing with these Tholians. But there are quite a few of them. Colas, target that orb weaver and fire.
Capacitor's full. Firing in 3 seconds.
Understood.
Activating the rejuvenator.
Good God.
It's working. Look at the star. Check the spectral readings. The fusion process is reigniting, and it's returning to normal.
Indeed, readings are stabilizing. And we are detecting a shockwave, however, but it is weak enough. I doubt it'll be noticeable by the Lucari, and we should weather it well enough.
Some of those ships have just arrived at our home system. They're attacking our homeworld. We don't have any way to repel starships like this. Please help us.
Oh, bloody hell, Administrator, we're on our way. Jerez, full impulse! Fire all weapons!
Please, you have to stop them. We don't have any warships or space methods.
We'll do our best, Administrator. Fire! Bloody hell! Oh God, they're caught in a mesh. Evasive maneuver! Bloody hell, we're in a tractor beam. Belay that order! Destroy that mesh weaver! Fire! Right, we've disrupted their tractor beam systems, and the mesh weaver's hull integrity is falling. Colas, fire aft torpedoes. Hard about!
To get my ship in a web. I need your help.
Understood! Bloody hell, that's a recluse! Helma, take us in! Fire!
They've stolen my quantum phase inhibitor.
What? Oh, bloody hell, the recluse has warped out! God, Senate pursuit caught! Oh, for God's sake, there are still mesh weavers in the system! Bloody hell, we can't pursue until we destroy them. Coles, fire! Bloody hell, they took the Toxutat! Bloody hell, a few weeks ago we were jumping across time just to stop the Volgons from getting it, and now the Tholians have it! Bloody hell!
Thanks for the save, but the Tholians managed to steal the Tox Utot while they had my ship webbed. That must have been their plan all along. My data suggests that the Tholians used a trilithium warhead to destabilize the star. But the amount of resources needed to build such a weapon makes it inefficient, to say the least. No, I suspect that somehow they knew that I'd come here to save this star, and that I would bring the Tox Utot. Fortunately, the Lucari star is safe. However, nobody else will be as long as the Tholians have that device. They could use it to snuff out or destabilize stars anywhere they want.
Well, we'll have to track it down and get it back from them, somehow. But that means we'll have to figure out their next target. If they went to the effort of stealing this thing, they must have one.
I have some thoughts on that, but I will need to do some calculations. These events and the Tox Utot itself are tied up in the temporal Cold War. The Tholians may not care, but by using the Tox Utot, they risk distorting the timeline by wiping out civilizations that are supposed to survive into the future, such as the Lucari. I'll be in touch. At least now the Lucari will have a promising future.
Indeed, that is the one bright side to this situation.
Caldano is correct. You have preserved our future. My people will be forever grateful, not to mention my personal gratitude, of course. I think we have a bright future ahead of us, if you'll forgive my play on words. I am eager to see where it leads. Thank you once again.
Administrator, my people will contact you again soon. We have many matters to discuss now that your people are known to us.
I wish I could ask you about your science, your trade, your society. But I suppose there will be time for all of that now that our crisis has been averted. Won't there?
Indeed, Administrator. First contact with other species is one of our most important duties. Our initial meeting has shown promise. I can assure you this will not be the last time we speak.
I think our friend the Administrator here is going to need a ride home. Would you mind? If you'll pick her up and take her home, I'll start looking for more data about the Tholians' plans.
Right. Understood. We'll rendezvous with you shortly and beam her aboard. Right, Transporter 1, beam Administrator Kumarke directly to the bridge, and then Jerez set a course for the moon. On to port.
I have collected an amazing amount of information about what happened to this star. Thank you for bringing me along. Once we're back in Allied space, I'll take a shuttle home.
Understood, Doctor. It was nice meeting you. Right, we're entering transporter range. Helm, full stop. Administrator. Terrell reports that it seems first contact with the Lucari has gotten off to a reasonable start. She says now we just have to hope that the Tholians show up again with a Toxutat, and we can stop them from doing anything disastrous. She says we are ready to leave the system on my orders. Oh well, by all means, Commander. We'll have to check in with Command and report the situation. God, it's a mess. Engage.
A first contact is a significant event for the Federation. We will be glad to open a dialogue with the Lucari people. Unfortunately, the loss of the Tox Utot is troubling. We have some reports about this device from when Jean-Luc Picard encountered it on Ryza in 2366. And obviously, we can't let the Tholians keep a piece of future technology that can destabilize stars. We'll have to deal with that later.
Indeed, Admiral, and once the location of the Toxutat becomes known, Diadem will be ready. Well, all that's left now is to wait for Caldana to find the location of the Toxutat. Then we'll hightail it to that location and try and stop the Tholians from doing anything catastrophic. But until then, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please feel free to subscribe, like the video, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.